So loading the it's all magnets. I can shoot normal. That's the thing, you've got to be careful because they'll come flying out. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be shooting some pinhole photography later on, and recently from Germany a guy called Ralphman has sent me his pinhole camera and asked me to have a look at it and let him have some feedback on my thoughts on using the camera. So I said, of course you can send me the camera, I'll have a look and I'll let you know what I think. So he did, and here it is here. This is called the MANIA Pinhole Camera. And whenever I get stuff sent to me, it's not a condition that I put it on the channel to show you guys. I'm in no affiliation with it. I don't earn nothing from it. I'll only put them on a channel if I think it's of value to the film community, or in particular, I like the product. This is the new LIGHTROOM hat, all the way from the States. It was sent to me to try out. Apparently, it's supposed to block sunlight when you're trying to shoot your camera, but still keep a little bit of light around. So that's why you're seeing this now. I like the product. It's worth showing you guys. And he's made this pinhole camera a modular system. So you can see at the moment, it's just a he's got half of Epping Forest in here. Look at this. Christ, it's heavy as well. He's even got a block of wood with all the with all the exposure details on. No wood wasted, mate, with this guy. So he's got this pinhole camera. As you can see, it's nice quality, and on the front, he's given me three. There's so much. He's given me 3 panels. This ain't all of it either. He's got more stuff that he could have sent, but I just said to him, send me this system and that's enough. But he's given me a panel here for 6x6. You can see there's 3 pinholes on there. And he's given me another panel here for 6x12. And you can see there's 3 pinholes on there. The middle one is for normal 6x6. The middle one is for normal 6x12. The 2 on the other side are for doing panoramic shots, sort of, you know, frames next to each other of the same scene, making a sort of split panorama, if you like, which is quite interesting. I've already tried it out. So we've got different panels there for the pinhole camera, but we've also got these parts here as well. Everything's magnetic and they're strong. They just really hard to pull off sometimes, but which is good because you don't want them falling off in the field, right? So anyway, he's giving you these little tiny blocks here, and what these are is like telephoto zooms. So if I take the panel off here, at the moment I'm at 35mm. I can't get them off. Jeez. Right. And now I'm at 55mm. Now I'm at 75mm. Put my panel on the front. I'm now shooting pinhole cameras at 75mm focal length. Take them all off. I'm now shooting back at 35mm focal length, I think. And if we split the camera apart, take the back off, there you go. There's just a block of wood with a hole in it. That's for 6x17, which I believe I can shoot if I use this front panel here. That's 6x17 photos I can shoot. If I want to shoot 6x12, I've got these small little inserts that I put in. Now I can shoot 6x12, or if I want to shoot 6x6, I can put these inserts in. Now I can shoot 6x6. So for my first load of shots, I'm going to be shooting 6x12, and I'm using Pan F50 as well. And shooting I'll get 6 shots out of that 120 roll in that camera. So because it's 6x12, I'll be shooting frame 1, and then it goes in 2s after that. So 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, la da 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 da, until I finish the roll. Or I can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. But I'm going to go for frame 1. And that's my subject there, is that motorbike with everything else in the background. See how wide I can get. Just my first shot, 6x12. So I've got the camera set up there, ready to go. We've got Pan F50 inside, just done some metering. It's giving me F11 at 1/30th of a second. So I'll need to get my block of wood. There's my little block of wood. and it records at 35mm, which is what I'm shooting, f11 1/30. It reckons 15 seconds, so wow. At f11 15 seconds, I'm going to have to allow for a little bit of reciprocity. I haven't worked that out, but I'm going to wing it. So I'm just going to go for a 20-second exposure. Everything else around here will be blurry, anything moving will be blurry, but that bike should be, and all the shops and stuff should be, well, they will be nice and sharp. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That'll do, and off. Now all I've got to do is to go forward. That's frame number 1. Just go forward to frame number 3 for my next shot. And if I want to shoot normal 6x6, there's my pinhole there for it. If I want to shoot the split panoramas, I'll take one photograph with that one, advance the film to the next frame, take one photograph with that one, and I'll get 2 side by side of the same scene. So it's quite creative if you like that sort of thing. I'm not sure that I'm too into that, to be honest with you, but who knows, I might be in the future. And I've already gone out and shot some rolls on this film already. Some of my results are here, 6x12s that I shot, and I'm handling the film like this because this is old expired film. I just use this. I've got a hoard of old expired film that I use for practicing with old cameras and stuff, so I don't give a hoot what happens to the negatives. They're probably just going to sit in a box or something. I'm probably not even going to store them anywhere. Another test there which went wrong. They started overlapping, but another test here with just normal 6x6 that I was trying out, you know, but the pinhole camera works. So for my next shot, I've got this alleyway, so I'm all set up ready to go. I've just done some metering 1/8 of a second, and that converts to, on the block of wood, 1 minute 34 seconds. So I'm going to go for 2-minute exposure on this alleyway. You can carry on, it's all right. I'm going to go for a 2-minute exposure and see what we get, and anyone walking past will be out of focus and all blurry. You can go. But for this shot, for 2 minutes, I'm going to use my phone timer so I can get it exactly right. I'm literally just winging the reciprocity failure. Okay, so it's about time now. Turn the camera off. Give or take a few seconds, it doesn't matter. Off. Nothing wasted with this guy. Look, a block of wood with all the information on it for your exposures. So shooting, this is all at f11. So you meter up on your meter at f11, whatever film you're using, and you've got a conversion chart in here which covers all those focal lengths. And you can also use the block of wood as well. It's got little markings up here to look at your angles. So if I think how wide am I going to be on this one, I use this. I can look through and see how wide my shot's going to be and what I've got in the picture. So quite an interesting system, and you can see Ralph Mann has obviously thought long and hard about this design. And it's nice as well. It looks nice, that quality oak finish. It's just got that, you know, you could put this on your camera shelf, for example, and be proud of it. But it does, you know, you can give it a little bit of beeswax on there as well. Keep it nice and clean and nice and fresh looking. So this time I've got it in portrait mode, set over this bench here. So I should get some nice leading lines shooting off over there. I should get all that bench in, a lot of that as well. So this is the first time I've tried it in portrait mode. I've just done some metering, and on the conversion it's given me 6 seconds. So I'm going to go for 8 seconds and see how it works. Maybe 9. So I'll count this one in. Let's go 9 seconds. And off we go. And off. And what I'm doing after each photograph, I'm advancing the camera, so I know when I settle down to my next shot, I've already advanced, I'm good to take the next photograph without a double exposing accidentally. You've also got on the back a little tiny red window for you to see your film numbers at the back of the camera. That's on a magnetic thing as well. Look, don't lose that. I already have, I found it again. It doesn't come off once it's on. And these magnets are quite strong as well on this camera. If you go on the website, you see a lot more about this camera. Ralphman's also got some videos explaining his other modular parts for this particular camera. He's also got the price on there as well. It's not that cheap, I must admit. It's not cheap, but you can see there's a lot of work that has gone into this camera. So jump on there and have a look at the website. You guys can see a little bit more. I felt it was a little bit unfinished with the black paint at the back of the camera, which I went ahead and refined it a little bit more just by masking out the edges and making it more straight. Before it looked like this, and now after I did a little bit of tidying up, it looked like that. So that's the only thing I could have said to Ralphman was, you know, if you're going to put these cameras out, just make sure the small finer details are going to look quality, because that to me kind of let it down a little bit. It's no big thing, but you know, if I'm showing it on the channel, if I'm showing it on Instagram or whatever, I'm sure someone would have picked up on it. But, you know, but it's no big deal. But what a fantastic camera and craftsmanship as well that he's put into this. And his story is he was a carpenter and turned photographer. And he's a fantastic photographer as well. You want to see some of his photographs, absolutely beautiful. And he put his knowledge and everything else of carpentry and photography into this pinhole camera. And this is not his first one. He's obviously had failures along the way, and this is the one that he's come out with, which he's now confident that's the working camera. So we'll see how this one comes out. I'm doing a 5-minute exposure in here, and I've got it in portrait mode, and because it's 5 minutes I can walk right to the other end, so anyone that walks by will just be a blur. I think so. Let's see what happens when it comes out, see what I look like. But another option is I could stand myself over there if I wanted to, but I have to be very still for 5 minutes. But off it goes. We'll see how that looks. It might be a nice look. There's some lovely light coming through. Look at the light coming through here. It's really nice and soft. So that's all my shots taken. 6 photographs, 6 by 12. We're just winding the film back now, and then I'll take this out and put another roll of film in. I'm going to put the Ilford HP5 in, so 400 speed. It will give me less time shutter speeds, so not as long. So anything moving in the frame might just show a little bit of motion blur, but it's not a great day today. It's quite dull, miserable, so my speeds are a little bit longer than I'd hoped for. It also takes filters as well. You've got these little grooves down here and these little magnetic pegs, and you can put your filters in. I can put my filter in there like so, and you use a little tiny peg, that holds it in place, and now you've got your filter. So you can use filters on it, which is brilliant. Oh, one other thing I found, I felt that some of these were a little bit stiff, so when I was lifting them up on the camera, I felt as though I was jogging the camera a little bit, which isn't so important with such long exposures, but shorter exposures, if you're doing half a second or whatever, you don't really want to be jogging the camera. But there are little tiny screws, so maybe I can just unloosen those a little tiny bit and make that work for myself. So loading the it's all magnets. Loading the film's quite easy. You've got these little pegs at the end which you can pull out. There they are there, little pegs you put in the end. You put your film in and you load the film as usual. The only thing I did find was getting the film out, you need to literally whack it out like so. That's what I found. I also noticed that there's no little tiny bit inside, like a little spring, that keeps the backing paper or the film tight on the spool. So when you have finished shooting your film and you've wound it back and you want to take it out of the camera, it's not 100% tight against that spool, because there's nothing pushing the paper against it as it's advancing, which is something I did mention to Renisa Cameras when they first sent me their prototype pinhole camera. And they changed it. They put a little tiny, you'll notice all these old folding cameras, there's a little tiny spring loading plate or something that pushes the paper onto the spool. But you know, I actually got one of my pinholes and put some cardboard in there or something once that did the job. But Renisa changed their cameras and put a little tiny bit of plastic in there that does that, and it works fine. So maybe in future Ralph Mann can look into that, because last thing you want to do is take your film out after a day's shoot and it's a little bit slack. That means light's going to start getting into the top of the film and burning into the edges. So you don't want that. So it's the only really downside flaw to this camera, I would say. On my experience so far, it did come out a little bit slack, but loading the film is easy enough, and then you're ready to go. So this time I'm going to be shooting 6x6 on HP5, so the slower speeds will be a lot less. So let's put that panel on, and I'll do some of that shifting as well, see how that works. So that's going to give me the normal 6x6, and this one's going to give me those split panoramas, whatever you want to call it. And that Pan F50 film that I just pulled out, out the camera, it was, it was a little bit flaky around the edges, a little bit not as tight as it should be. So it's definitely something that needs to be addressed, I think. But that's down to Ralph to decide on that. It's not for me to decide. All I can do is just say what's what. So let's wind this one on. We're using both of the winders to get it going, and then it should be taut. There you go, now it's taut. Put the back on and use the numbers. So we're going to go to frame 1 and work from there. So although it's a modular system, once you've chosen your system to go out and shoot, be it 6x6, 612 or whatever, you can't change halfway through the film, obviously, so you can't decide to start shooting 6x6 once you've started 6x12, because you've got all the backs in as well, and you can't take the front plates off because you're going to expose the film. Even if you had a changing bag, you could change your front plates if you wanted to, or the modular system, if you wanted to change your focal length from 35 to 75, for example. Again, you wouldn't be able to do that in daylight because you'll expose the film, but you could take a changing bag with you, put the whole system in a changing bag, and then change your format, so you can actually change the focal length of the camera on the go if you've got a changing bag with you. So what a fascinating pinhole camera this is, and you can see that Ralph Mann really has put a lot of thought into this and a lot of creative work as well, using his woodwork experience. I haven't shot pinhole for quite some time, but I'm looking forward to getting out and shooting some more pinhole with this camera, and of course my other pinhole cameras as well. But I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what I can do with 612 or even 617 as well, and maybe doing some prints in the darkroom with those negatives. So see what happens in the future. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a look at Ralph Mann's cameras, have a look at him on Instagram, or follow him if you're interested in this sort of photography. These are the negatives again that I've come back with. None of these are all test shots, so you know, none of these are I'm going to be printing, but it'll be nice to really sort of knuckle down, get concentrating with this system and coming out with some nice photographs eventually. This is expired film that I'm still shooting on these, so stick a nice fresh roll of film in and see what I can come up with. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comments what you think of this system. Is it something that any of you guys would purchase? Let me know in the comments, and if you're into pinhole photography, let us know what pinhole cameras you're using and what you enjoy shooting. I'm sure myself and others would like to see. Thanks very much guys, and I'll catch you next time.